Okay, now I can use joins with more than one table. All right, so let's look at a complex query. It looks complex, but it's very easy. All right, so idea is I need to get a report that shows all the invoice details for John Gordon. All right, now we want to be able to report his first name, last name, and address details. So remember, that's in the customer table. Right, that gets me the customer table. I know I have to select from there. Then I also have to get the invoice date, right? So it looks like I have to join with the invoice table for sure. All right. I also need the track name. Now, the invoice table doesn't hold the track name, but I know that each invoice has multiple invoice line items. So from here I can get the track ID. Then I can join the track ID, the invoice line table, to my track table to grab the name of the track. Notice this would be complicated if I used subquery, right? So let's get started. So I'll zoom out a bit so we have room. Okay. So the idea is first, we'll just do a select star and then we'll refine our columns that we need for the report. So we'll say select star from customer. Okay, so I know that I need to get access to John Gordon, so he's in the customer table. We'll alias that with C. We're going to join the invoice table, alias I, on what? So remember, customer and invoice join on customer ID. Those are the common columns between both tables. So we'll say on C.customer ID is equal to I.customer ID. Okay, that gets me all the data for customer joining with invoice. Now, once I have the invoice, I need to go to the invoice line item. All right, so notice I'm converting this business requirement into a code. So now I do another join. So I grab the invoice line. I can name that IL. Again, I join that on I.invoice ID. Notice invoice line and invoice tables have a common column, invoice ID, primary key in the invoice table, invoice ID, foreign key in the invoice line table. Okay, so I'll say invoice ID equals my IL.invoice ID. All right. Finally, once I get the invoice line, I need to link up with the track table on track ID. So I can say join again, the track table T, okay, on my invoice line item dot track ID is equal to track dot track ID. Okay, that gets me all the data I need. All right, but I need it specifically for John Gordon, so I can use a where clause with my table aliases. So, excuse me, I can say C.first_name equals John and C.last_name equals Gordon. All right. And eventually I'll be showing you how to create store procedures and functions. And also you can actually generate a report by passing in someone's name. It'll get you all the invoice details for that customer. Okay. So now let's go back to refine our columns. All right. I need his first name, last name. So that's in the C table, customer table, first name, last name. Okay. His address details, it says in the requirement. Remember, we have to follow the requirements. So I need the C.address, C.city, C.state, C.postal code. Okay. That gets me all the customer's details. All right. I also need the invoice date. Okay. So I know for sure I need the I.invoice date. Okay. I also need the track name, so that's in my T alias for track table, track name. And finally, it says get the unit price of each track bought, right? So I can just go to my track table, my IL dot unit price, all right, and get the unit price. So let's see how that works. If I select everything, all right, so it looks like John Gordon has multiple items here. So it looks like he has. It displays a report giving me the full address for John Gordon, all of his invoice details, right? And then it shows the track name here, all the tracks John Gordon has bought, along with the unit price of each track.